you want more?
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
Thank you very much. This will be for KNAC.com. Now, you guys have a new record coming out in May. I mean, we're getting a jump on this. And, you guys are going to be on Monsters of Rock Cruise, which I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. I haven't seen you guys perform. I know you guys did a North American tour last year. We'll talk a little bit about that. But first, let's talk about the record.
Yeah. Well, we are about to release the 5th of May, The Dark Tower.
Hey.
Yeah, so it's going to be dark and evil and mysterious and pretty crazy.
and I mean, I think because, I didn't discover the band until you came on board. So you're kind of the vocalist that I've known to be, fronting the band. Yeah. So for me, I had to go back and check out some of the older stuff. For yourself, as far as with this new record, what sets it apart from the previous stuff you've been a part of?
Yeah, well, we wanted to go back indeed a bit to the older stuff where it's still really like gnarly and dark, basically. So for this album, we really chose this theme that really fits that. So it's about Countess Bathory and the Dark Tower. In our story, in our version of the story, she gets locked up in that tower, and in the actual story, she basically gets locked up in her own home, which is a castle. She is a noblewoman, and she was having servants, mostly young girls, and she would torture them to death. And this was kind of her hobby. She was the first recorded serial killer, and she made the mistake to start torturing the noblewoman too, and then they locked her up. So that's it. Yeah.
So you're saying, is this like a concept record then?
Well, yeah, mostly, yeah.
Okay. Oh, wow.
That we wanted to use, yeah.
Okay. So how was that for you guys to work collaboratively on something like this, a concept like this? Because I love the covers for the records. I mean, those are awesome. And this one, you're right, it is pretty evil and eerie and scary looking.
Yeah, well, it's almost easy to do it, right? Because Romana always writes the basis of the songs. So just maybe the song structure, the chords, some guitar melody lines. So sometimes they're in there already, sometimes not yet, and I just get that to start writing with also. But she really understands how to capture certain vibes in the music. So yeah, it was definitely some of them were darker than usual, right? So it's also easy to think of subjects around this Countess Bathory, maybe about the fear of people living around it, or the guy that eventually betrayed her or that locked her up. And yeah, you're trying to find all the little stories in there and just try to connect it to the songs.
Nice.
And I think it's
Well, that's one of the pros of having like a physical product kind of thing in front of you. I mean, I pre-ordered the record, but I know I got an advance of it to kind of listen to, check out and stuff like that. But I always like looking through the lyrics or any of that kind of stuff, because then, you're more invested in the end product kind of thing. So when as you guys are working on songs and stuff like that, I mean, how does that work with yourself? I mean, how do you have the final say as far as melodies and lyrics and stuff like that, or is it something that everybody's invested and involved in?
Well, it's everyone a bit for their own parts, right? So and I think for the song and lyrics, yeah, you're always trying to go back and forth because it's so defining the whole song in the end, right? So to figure out where you should sing, where you shouldn't sing, and also maybe to change the song up a bit. And most of that stuff happens in the studio. So basically we wrote all our parts. We already tried to like what we did, right? So we already tried to have this song structure nailed down. But then we go in the studio and we have some people there that also really look at it with a fresh look, or with a fresh ear in this case, right? So so Pulver, Smear are mostly the ones that didn't hear it yet. So they will help us then to maybe rearrange small parts to make it even a more strong song. It's just the little details at the end. Yeah.
Has it ever been a challenge for yourself to come up with like a lyrical phrase or something? Because I know, you're performing in English, but obviously, if you have, a primary language, sometimes the
Yeah.
translation doesn't quite go.
Uh-huh.
Have you
Yeah.
run into a lot of that, and how do you sort that out?
Yeah. Well, I'm lucky enough to, being grown up with, actually, because I'm Dutch, you had the
Hmm.
TV when I was young. The TV never really had any
Hmm.
voiceovers for the Dutch language. Mostly it
Okay.
were just subtitles. So
Okay.
because of the subtitles, I
Oh,
could always read along with the English.
right.
And this really helped me to be good at English. Next to that, it's close,
Hmm.
language-wise, it's close
Right.
sometimes. But
Yeah.
that really helped me. So I'm pretty good at it. So I mean, if I look stuff up to help me write, for example, you have stuff on the internet like rhyme zone and
Hmm.
thesaurus and synonyms and stuff like that. So you can help yourself a bit with those tools, right? So I do use them,
Sure.
especially if I don't come up with anything really nice or I think it could be better. I definitely
Hmm.
use that stuff.
Right.
And just doing this and knowing what I want to write about before I start. This is basically what helps me mostly to
Uh,
do it well enough,
okay.
I guess. I hope.
Right, right. So for yourself, I mean, what do you think, or what do you feel is a standout moment on this particular record, as far as a vocal performance or a particular lyrical portion or whatever? What's your
Ah.
favorite on this particular record?
Um, well, it's hard to say because there's sometimes these parts that you think you did a really nice job on,
Hmm.
and some are kind of like almost poetic, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
right.
so I think World on Fire is one of those cool ones. They have a bit of cool lyrical creativity in there. World on
Hmm.
Fire, I think, is one of those. Um, yeah, it's really hard to say
Right,
as someone that wrote it. You know what I mean?
right, right.
Because I got that one pointed out by someone else, so this is why I
Okay.
dare to say it.
Yeah,
Don't really
and
dare to
so
say it, to be honest.
right. So far you've got a couple singles out, to kind of launch the record, and most, here, was it last week you released the video for Unleash the Beast, right? I think it was the
Uh-huh.
tail end of last week. Um, Tell me about that, because you have a special guest featured in the video, and
Mhm.
and I guess she's filling in temporarily, and how that all came to be. So I'll take
Yeah,
it from
yeah,
there
yeah.
if you can.
Yeah, so we had indeed, well, happy news. Larissa is pregnant, so
Hmm.
but of course, if you're pregnant, you're not allowed to go on planes and stuff like
Right.
that. It gets just more difficult already, and then of course it's heavy at some point to be pregnant and do stuff. So we
Hmm.
were like, yeah, we need to solve this. And Courtney is a longtime friend of the band, and her and Romana knew each other, I think,
Hmm.
since Hexenhammer, so since a long time. And um, yeah, this is why it came kind of natural to ask her, and luckily she can solve it with the Iron Maidens too. So
Hmm.
yeah, we're very happy that she want to join for this. And now it's really cool. We also have two versions actually of the songs that Courtney joins now for the clips. So Unleash the Beast, we have a version with Larissa, and they're
Hmm.
really cool guitar harmonies. It's a bit different, so it's cool to
Right.
check it. And then we have
Right.
the version with Courtney, and it totally stretch and yeah, melts faces. So
So you're saying, I mean, that gave her an opportunity to kind of put her own stamp on that
yeah,
particular
we
portion,
felt
right?
we felt like if she would help us out this much, we wanted to do this, also to give something fun back in this way. Yeah.
So how much additional work did that lead up to for you guys? Because I mean,
Uh,
that doesn't sound like it's something that you could just punch a button and it's in there, right?
No, no, but luckily she's a very good musician, so we just went to the studio. I mean, she got the songs up front, of course, but
Okay.
no, we just went to the studio and in the studio again with Romana and Smear were there and
Hmm.
Pulver, and she just tries, and she's a good musician, so it's it doesn't take too much extra time, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not like you record the whole song, it's just I think solos, right? So it's
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean the rest is already there. So it's basically you don't have to do the creative Yeah, you do. Okay, a little bit, of course, because
Sure,
it
sure.
was new, but but
But
not
it's not,
everything.
yeah, it doesn't require cutting the whole song
Yeah,
all
it
up
doesn't
again. Yeah.
require cutting that much, so
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
the good part. Yeah.
So I know, what was your experience touring North America last go around? Because you guys did some shows last year, I believe, right? Was it last year? Seems like it was last year. But anyways, so
Um, yeah, sorry. I always have to reset my mind when a new
right.
question comes. Can
Yeah,
you
yeah,
repeat
yeah,
the
yeah.
question, please?
Yeah, yeah. So the question is what was your experience doing the last North American tour? I think it was last year that you guys did that particular tour. So
Yeah, we did every tour ever almost. It was such a busy year. It was crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, we had a fun time with the Iron Maidens, and it was a special experience because it was the first time in America, and it was also before that we always toured with a tour bus. This time it was in a little van, so we
Mhm.
drove ourselves, and then we were
Oh
in the
wow.
basically setting up, doing the performance, and then sleeping, and that was our life for a month or so. So it was pretty. Whew, it was a heavy tour, but it was also fun. And yeah, it was fun with the Iron Maidens. They're really cool people. We had fun with them every night, and yeah, it was nice. It was special.
Yeah. So you guys were actually driving yourselves, it sounds like, huh? On that particular
Well,
tour?
yeah, we had people helping out with merch and
Okay.
stuff. They were the one driving, so we
Oh,
would,
okay.
because we did set up the stage and stuff, we helped that. So Um, I we never saw each other with so many, dark
Oh,
eyes,
oh, right.
eye rings at the end of the tour.
Right.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, I'm
crazy.
sure. So what was one of the highlights from that particular tour, when you guys hit North
Um,
America last time?
it's hard to say because every show had its own little quirk, I guess.
Hmm.
Um, this is going to sound stupid,
Mm.
but there was this one venue, and this really I just it stands out to me. It's
Hmm.
stupid, but it really stands out to me.
Right.
It was a really cool guy. His dream, and I'm not kidding, his dream was to start um, a coffee shop to smoke marijuana and stuff like
Okay.
that
Right.
underneath the venue.
Oh, wow.
And he
Okay.
was this artist. He would paint, and he would actually paint everyone while doing the performance. He would also paint. So this was a special
Mm.
thing, and
Okay.
he did a really good job. It was really cool. But what was really funny is that he mistook Romana for someone else. So he
Oh.
painted up front the wrong person. And to be honest, this is just
Oh,
it to me.
wow.
It was, this is what sticks. This is one of the things that sticks. And to be
Yeah.
honest, yeah, you're not the first I'm talking to. So of course, this is maybe not the most serious answer, but
Hmm.
I don't know. I felt like telling it. I'm in
Okay.
the
Yeah, okay, I get that. Yeah.
and this to me it was one of the funniest experiences. I mean, and the other, yeah, what else? I mean, we had some really cool shows,
Hmm.
and people that what also was special.
Hmm.
It was not necessarily because of COVID anymore, but we had some
Right.
shows where I actually in America we had a lot of shows in theaters, and I
Right.
didn't I didn't knew that was a thing, but in America a lot of people sit down apparently.
Mm.
So the M3
Yeah.
festival, yeah,
Right.
so the M3 festival was like kind of like an arena feeling. So there was a field that you could stand, but
Hmm.
in the back there were actually a lot of seats also.
Yeah.
So that was totally something that you wouldn't see that in Europe, I think, as
Hmm.
quickly. Yeah, in an
Right.
arena, yes, not on a festival.
Right.
So yeah, that was weird. We actually
Yeah.
have a festival in the Netherlands, and it's in an ice ring. So
Hmm.
so you yeah, so in the summer it's a field, right? So you can do the festival in there. It's actually Dynamo Metal Fest that used to be extremely big. And then it wasn't there for a few years, and now they brought
Hmm.
it back to the ice ring in Eindhoven. And I honestly can't remember people even sitting there. I think it was just a field, even if there were seats.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Oh.
everyone's just on the field. Yeah, it's weird.
So
It's
that was a
totally.
little strange, right? To see people
Yeah, so
sitting.
it's
Yeah.
like having the seats or kind of basically not even using the seats. Like this is the
Right.
it's so yeah, for me that was also special and
Hmm.
funny, and I don't know. Yeah, it's just different.
Was there
Yeah.
any particular something that you saw that might have been surreal, like something you might, like a landmark or something during the North American tour that you go like, wow, I remember seeing that in a movie or on a TV show or something like that.
Well,
that stands out?
New York. We saw the skyline of New
Okay,
York.
there
It's
you
like,
go.
hey, there's New York. And the stupid thing is, we were never really inside. We were always kind of on the edge. So we went
Yeah.
to perform in Rochester, but
Mhm.
we just crossed. We just, we saw, hey, there it is again. Hey, there's New York
Yeah,
again.
right.
Every time we
So
just didn't really
that
get
was a
to
little
be-
bit different, right? Like surreal. Like you're like, hey,
Yeah.
we see that in the movies, and
Yeah,
yeah,
that's yeah.
yeah.
I was really surprised about another thing of this really anticlimactic again,
Uh-huh.
but
Okay.
actually I felt like a lot of it looked like the Netherlands. A lot of it is
Hmm.
actually flat, just
Right.
fields, just flat. I was like, oh, feels like at home.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
wow. What were you driving like through the Midwest United States or something?
I think that's
Okay.
why it looked
Right.
like that.
Okay.
Exactly,
Oh, wow.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
looking at down the road, because like I mentioned, you guys are going to be on the Monsters of Rock cruise, and that's going to be a blast to see you guys perform, having never seen you guys perform, period, myself. But what's the set list going to look like as you guys keep adding more albums? You need to add more material from the current album. At this point, how hard is it for you guys to select a set list? And also for yourself, because you also have to go into the back catalog and dig out some of those
Yeah.
gems.
Yep. Yeah. I basically gave up being bothered because yes, it is always hard if you
Mhm.
really start to care about it, it's horrible. So I
Mhm.
don't I try not to because yes, it's really hard if you care about it. Um, but basically we have those songs that have to be in there, right? So they're
Yeah.
the singles that did really well, and you want to have those in there. And
Mhm.
then now for the new album, I think we will do some songs that are released as singles, and we do some extra fun
Mhm.
songs from the album just to throw
Sure.
in there once in a while, and maybe as a. It's so funny, and now I'm when I'm in the band, we always sometimes we speak half English, half German.
Yeah.
So what's the song for Zugabe? Like one more song. What is it called again? I forgot. Zugabe.
Yeah,
One
right.
more song. What is it
Yeah,
called?
right, right. Yeah. What was that?
Toegift, Zugabe. What is it in English? Like
Oh,
if you play one more song, that one
oh yeah,
extra
yeah,
song.
yeah. Okay, I get you. Right, right. Uh,
Yeah. So no, yeah, those are one
yeah.
of those
So,
words.
so for you, I mean, it just seems like, do you customize stuff for like let's say when you did North American tour, right? Obviously, you know that the audience is going to be different, so you probably have to make
Yeah.
some modifications to kind of
Mm.
win them over, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well,
have you
it's yeah. We have
yeah.
yes.
So have you been thinking about this particular cruise? Because, it's basically, I guess the theme is an 80s cruise, right? 80s hard rock cruise. So therefore here you
M3,
go, yeah,
over
right.
M3 was
Yeah, and
doing
M3 as well. And here
months
you're
of rock
rolling
cruise
in.
now. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and you guys are rolling in and playing, heavier music. It's still melodic,
Uh-huh.
but it's definitely heavier. I mean, have you been putting any thought into, hey, this is what we need to
Yeah.
put in there?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We will probably play the ballad as one of those extra songs.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that'd be good,
Yeah.
huh?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, yeah. We do that because that one's definitely more like a hard rock vibe. It's
Hmm.
almost impossible to make pure metal with
Right.
in a ballad. I mean, to be
Right.
honest, if you for example, it is kind of possible, but only because doesn't make sense. So you basically
Hmm.
put things in there that you normally wouldn't use for a ballad, right? So yeah, so we
Right.
have metal ballad and um we have a few of the songs that remind just a little bit more of hard rock than of metal,
Right.
like Dance with the Devil. So we definitely play those. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, okay, so as we wind down, I just got a couple more questions and then I'll cut you loose. And thank you for your time. It was blast. I know there was a little screw up with the link and all that kind of stuff, but
Yeah,
glad
no
we
problem.
figured it out. It was fun
Uh-huh.
talking to you. So for
Yeah.
yourself, I mean, looking into like the rest of the year, we're actually a quarter in already. But what does that look like for Burning Witches, and does that include any North American additional tour dates, I should say?
Yeah, we definitely would love to do this time, the West Coast,
Right.
American
I'm on the
Mix.
West Coast, so I'm a fan of
Ooh,
that.
awesome, would be cool, yeah. And
Yeah.
so we're looking into it, yeah. So really hoping, fingers crossed for it to happen.
Hmm.
At this moment, nothing is really sure yet, but we're definitely trying to come back to America and also
Right.
we now have this Mexican show planned, hopefully some South America.
Okay.
And yeah, the UK, we're looking into it currently, also the UK, and of course, hopefully Europe again. But we do have some release shows now in Europe, but it could be a bit more. So let's see.
Oh, nice. And then you guys also made the move from Nuclear Blast, right, to Napalm now?
Yeah.
So tell us about that. What's the pros of being on board with Napalm now?
Yeah, the most important thing was our contract was ending. So we were looking, we had to make a choice of what is next, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were just taken over by a French company at that time that wanted to focus more on digital, digital everything. So basically, there wouldn't be so much place, like physical place, like literally anymore, like the room to keep stuff to sell. And because of us being the old school lovers, we really want all this stuff to be available, and we just couldn't have done that staying with Nuclear Blast. So Napalm, we had a good deal with Napalm for that, and also now some extra vinyls with Atomic Fire Records, so that's cool. Yeah,
and then you also did the pre-orders where you guys personally signed the physical product, so that's always awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Do something special.
So the last question, this is the last question, and then I'll let you go. And thank you for your time again. And this will go up on knec.com. We'll post, all the socials, all that stuff, album info, label, all that stuff. So the question would be, what is something about yourself that we wouldn't know unless you told us a particular fact?
Oh, yeah, I'm actually a guy. No, just kidding.
You fooled me. You fooled me.
Really?
I've been fooled.
Oh, no.
If you are, but I don't think you are.
Yeah, no. Nah, I'm not. No, never been. No, let me think. I mean, the thing that is just fresh in my mind, I think some people would know that, but probably not everyone. I'm actually blind as a mole. I just got eye surgery that put like a little lens into my eye.
Okay.
Something you wouldn't know without me telling you, because you can't see. Because they actually, seriously, it's kind of like, it fits the theme of the album. It's really horrific.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They will, you will actually look at it. They will make your eyes open like this.
Okay. Right. Yeah, I've seen those.
You get
things,
an eye spreader in your eye, and you get some drops, so you don't feel it though. So that's nice. And then they basically punch a hole into your eye. Like with a little spear, like.
Okay.
It looks like it's a knife. It looks like a spear, and they just
Sheesh.
And then they put the lens inside there, and they kind of shove it. They make another little hole on the other side, and then they can like shove the lens underneath your iris. Yeah, and it's creepy as well. And I'm really happy they gave me some medicines to calm down before they started.
Sure. Wow. And I was going to say that definitely sounds like it would cause anxiety. I think that I had a flashback to that. I don't know if you've seen the movie Clockwork Orange. I think when they have the eyes spread up, open, and stuff like that. Ooh, all right. Stuff. Scary stuff. Hey, well, thank you for your time. We'll get this online and get everybody links, and Natalie and everybody at Napalm. And thank you for your time, and we'll see you on the cruise.
Yeah, you're welcome. See you there.
All right. Take care.
Take care.
Bye. Bye.